What's going on, people? I'm back at it again. Your boy Drams on deck. Today, we have a very special one. We have a requested one. I did a special unboxing not too long ago, and some of y'all was hitting me in my inbox saying you want to know how the Bunnahabhain is. So today, you have it. The Bunnahabhain PX, PEDRO XIMENEZ cast. Palate 54% from the Palate Islands. Now this one here is going to be one that, this is also the bend of it. That's a little, different for me. I've never had Bunnahabhain before, so it's different, different time. Well, this is the first time I haven't had this before, but not only that, I'm shocked that this is a sherry cast from the Palate Islands because normally Palate is known for peat, more so than sherry. Be it as it may, it's my first time with the product. I'm looking forward to trying it. So I poured a dram not too long ago. I like to let it open up, but just to let you know about this right here. This particular one was bottled in it wasn't bottled. It was put in the barrels of 2003, and it was actually bottled in 2017. So basically, that makes it 14 years old. This cask is sitting at 14 years old. The first 11 years is in second fill sherry cask, and then the last 4 years is in first fill PEDRO XIMENEZ. So this one right here, for me, I'm a sherry guy. That was my first, that's what really got me infatuated with Scotch, was the sherry cask. So I'm definitely looking forward to trying this one. And it's actually bottled at 54%, so it's pretty much almost cask strength, which is something I prefer nowadays. I think to me, cask strength definitely is not watered down. You get the real natural. And if if you find it being too hot, you can always put a little water in it to bring it down to whatever ABV that's comfortable for your palate. But if I would advise you, just start off with small sips, and also keep in mind that if you would have tried straight first, just to see if that's something that is palatable for you. So start off neat. If it's too much, take it down little by little. That's my suggestion. But we're gonna jump on this nose real quick. And also look at the color of it. I don't know if with the glass, I don't know if you can see, but it's like a light caramel, almost like you would get a dark apple juice light caramel. It's not super dark, so if I had to guess, I would think it was younger than it actually is. But on this nose right here, I'm picking up obviously sherry, some dark fruits, hitting a little bit of hint of vanilla. And believe it or not, just a little bit of smoke I'm picking up. Not much, just a little bit of smoke, dark fruits, a little vanilla. It smells very sweet. It feels very, very appetizing. Dark fruits, a little smoke, and sherry. And for this particular cask, I actually noticed how it also, what really shocked me about this is the fact that it was 14 years. If I had to guess, just off, based off of the look, I would think it was probably no more than 10 years. So it really shocked me how old it was, the age of 14 years. That's pretty, it's pretty grown right there, 14 years. And usually my preference for at least scotches is anywhere from 12 to 21 years. That's just the base. That's what I prefer. But that's just me. But I'm gonna jump right here and see on the palate. Ooh, here we go. Wow. I usually like to go in 2 sips and give you my opinion. But I can tell you on this first sip, it's very viscous, very oily, and I like that. I like it when it coats your palate, sticks to it. To me, the flavor soaks in a little bit more. And usually I feel the heat normally on the first sip. The second and third and so forth, it gets pretty easy and pretty mellow. But that first sip, I felt a little bit of a punch, just a little small punch. It was nothing heavy, nothing devastating, but a little bit of, I felt just a little bit at 54%, but nothing Nothing that was a burn per se, just a little heat on my palate. But now I appreciate that. That's a good thing. Second sip. Wow. Honestly, I had a lot of expectations on this bottle because A, it's a PX. I love sherry cask. I love PX because I love the sweetness. And B, because it's a new distillery. It's my first time really introducing with Bunnahabhain. That being said, my opinion of it, honestly, it's damn good. I'm gonna be, it's very good. On the palate, you pick up sherry. I feel like some raisins, dark cherries. Looks like some dried fruits, like a little bit of date, a little cinnamon. And it's, like I said, it's pretty oily. And I like that. I like that. So the viscosity of it rather is very, very nice. And you pick up like dried fruits, raisins, like I said, sherry. And it's very balanced. You know, I expected it to be even more like a sherry bomb. Like a lot of times certain people like Macallan or whatnot, when you get something that says PX or even a Glendronach in particular, it says PX, normally it's just very sherry, and a lot of and sherry is predominantly what you taste. On this per se, this is a little bit more balanced. It's not, I mean, granted you do pick up sherry, but it's very balanced because when you first go in on it, the first thing I pick up is the dried fruit, and then I also pick up the raisins. And then as I into the mid palate part, that's when I start picking up just a very hit of smoke, a little bit of chocolate, and you get the oily mixture on it. So for me, the sherry is not necessarily the most predominant thing that I'm tasting. It is a huge part, but I like the fact that it's balanced. Though if it was a sherry bomb, I'll be happy with that too because that's just what I like. But this particular one, it surprised me how it's sherry, but it's not like a sherry bomb like a. If you ever had a Glendronach PX like the 21, or even a Glenfarclas 15, or the Macallan 12 sherry, this one right here is not it's heavily sherry, at least on my taste buds is that, but it's still it's a little bit more balanced. But I like that though. No more sip. Picking up smoke. There's a little bit of smoke on a very slight underlining on the finish. I'm picking up a hint of smoke. Raisins, very syrupy. Sherry, some figs. It's good. It's really good. I got this particular bottle as in my previous review. And here in the local area called Carlsbad at Texas Wines and Spirits. If you happen to be in the Carlsbad, California area, holler at my man Ryan, he'll hook you up. This particular bottle, I think I paid roughly around $100 for it. And I've seen, those are very limited. I will say, you're not going to find this Bunnahabhain everywhere. So availability is probably going to be something that you're going to be a little bit more challenging. Because like I said, very few spots that I've noticed have this particular this is, like I said, this is a limited release. It is, so right here, as it says here, it says on the bottle here, it's a limited release. So you're not going to have a whole lot of it here. So if you can find it anywhere, I've seen anywhere from $80 to $120. That's the bar price, $80 to $120. So I got it kind of middle. And I got it just because, like I said, it was limited release. I like PX. It was a different one. Definitely, I never had this wheelhouse before. So I was like, let's try it out. I'm glad I did. My man Ryan introduced me, said, this is a good one. So I went with it, and I'm glad I did. It's very good. It's like, it's I wouldn't call it a sherry bomb, but it has nice sweetness. It's a small hint of smoke, a little bit of chocolate, raisins, figs. It is very nice, and I really enjoy this. I think for the price point, it's pretty relatively affordable. In my opinion, I believe. if I had to rate this 1 out of 10, 10 being the best, I personally would give this a solid 8. A solid 8 all day. I really enjoy this. I mean, it sticks to the rib, coats you well. It's well balanced, you know. I was expecting it to be just straight sherry, and that's not what I picked up. You get maybe about 40% sherry, another percent, so you get the digs, the fruits, the syrupy content, and then you get a little bit of smoke basically on the finish. And for me, just a little small hint of that, and that's wonderful balance. I really enjoy that. So like I said, if you can get this, I will go for it. And you know, in comparison, I be honest with you, I can't really normally like to compare it to say, you know, if you like this particular spirit, then you may like this as well. And as of right now, the only thing that I can remotely think to compare it to thus far would be probably, you know, if you ever had the there's a bottle, well, Highland Park 12, but just imagine it with less peat, far less peat. You know, if you had a Highland Park 12, how it's like sweetened peat, it's like 50-50. Well, this one is more like, you know, more like 70-30, 70 sweet and 30, maybe slightly, very slightly on the peat side, but it's real balanced. I give you that. I definitely like it. It's definitely something worth checking out. So if you happen to see it and you get it for a good price, I would definitely jump in and go for it. You know, Bunnahabhain, PEDRO XIMENEZ PX from the Islands. Check it out, man. It's definitely good. I enjoy this, man. Well balanced, definitely. So I got more heat coming at you. So please stay tuned. I got more bourbon coming your way. So stay tuned. Drams on deck.